As a four-time Group 1 winner of over $3.4 million, the tough and talented son of Zabeel Preferment has the most Group 1 wins and the highest prize money of any first-season sire in New Zealand. So the former Derby winner has quite rightly found his new home here at Brighthill Farm, and he's already letting down into a stunning stallion in the making. It's so exciting to see a stayer such as Preferment, who was, such a durable, tough racehorse, getting his chance at stud here at Brighthill.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic, and obviously the New Zealand factor itself is a big plus, and really the only place for this horse was to come back to New Zealand, and the opportunities that are here for him, I think, are tremendous. And Brighthill, yeah, I think we've got a real maybe a love affair with these staying horses, and to get a horse of this quality is just fantastic.
But Preferment and Bondiga are flying home. It's Preferment and Bondiga racing to the lead together. Preferment on the outside. Ollie's done it again. Preferment by a head to Bondiga.
Well, he did obviously win the Derby, we know, as a spring 3-year-old, but I think it's a testament to him that he was then able to go on it. Big horses like Royal Descent in the Group 1, the Turnbull Stakes. He won an Australian Cup as well, the BMW on a good 3. So he wasn't just an out-and-out stayer. He had a fabulous turn of foot, and he could win on the good tracks. He wasn't just a wet tracker.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah, absolutely. And even if you compare the way that he won his races, the Turnbull, where he was nearly last at the corner, and to come home down the straight was a fantastic run. And then if we look at the BMW, which was the opposite, where he took off from the 300 and really broke their hearts that day. Just a high quality horse, and as you mentioned, up against some of the best stayers that are around in Australia. And as we know now, it's not just New Zealand and Australian stayers you're competing against, it's the good European horses as well. So the level of staying is so high now. To win that level of race, you've got to be a really good horse.
Yeah, what do you think made him such a tough horse? I mean, he's a really good-looking son of Zabeel, isn't he? He really throws to that Nureyev Lady Giselle side of the Zabeel pedigree, but he's obviously tough as well. He's not just a good-looking horse, he's a warrior too.
Absolutely, and I think he gets that from Dad, doesn't he? He gets that Zabeel factor that we've seen over the years, the likes of Might and Power, that finishing, that grit that they've got. I mean, that's the Zabeel factor, and he certainly has that. And then, as you say, he's the perfect Zabeel because he's got that speed source on the dam side. And if we, here in New Zealand, if we look at, and analyse Zavabeel and why has he been such a success at stud, I think we can all lean towards that speed source that he's got. And he's got, with the Flying Spur and the Canny Lad on his dam side, he's got it in spades. And then just his physique, he's a beautiful athlete.
He certainly is. I mean, parading here today, he has that quality sort of look about him. He's so beautifully balanced. And what do you see when you look at him as a horse that you would want to send mares to? Because he's got that beautiful shoulder, the lovely head, and lovely sort of deep girth and big, strong, powerful back end too. I guess they are all the attributes that you want to see if you're sending him mare.
Oh, without a doubt. And that athleticism that we see in him for a bigger horse, he moves beautifully, and again, which was an asset in racing, but will be a big asset for those using him as a stallion, because we've got to, what are we going to produce, what are we going to turn up at the sales grounds with? For a lot of New Zealand breeders, that's a big factor. We're confident we're going to breed high quality race horses, but we want that commercial reality along the way, and a lot of our breeders look for that. And if he leaves, I had the guys from NZB here the other day looking at him, drooling over him and saying, if he leaves yearlings like himself, we're all going to have a lot of fun. And I think that's a fair comment, and there's no reason why he won't. He's got that Zabeel X factor in his physique that he can pass on, and maybe that bit of quality coming from his dam side. So he's, in some ways, if you were trying to design the Zabeel horse, he is the perfect Zabeel.
He is, and well, Mum's already done the job too, hasn't she? Better Alternative. Rezone, the full sister, is a winner of the SA Oaks.
Yes, indeed, and a great family, and a great Australian family.
And obviously the owners have stayed in, Linda Huddy, Deb Capitas, Frank Cook, which is a fabulous support base because they all have quality mares too. I'm sure they'll be supporting him with.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the mares are fantastic, and they will, and that'll be the long-term help to the long-term success, and there's some lovely mares coming from all of them. But to have, their enthusiasm for New Zealand breeding and what we do here, and he is the atypical New Zealand horse that we're all trying to produce to race in Australia, he fits that bill, and their enthusiasm is fantastic. And to have those guys involved and looking at the long-term project, because this is it with stallions, it's very easy to launch them and get them underway, but it's the long-term project where you're heading to get that opportunity to stud, to make them successful stallions. And these guys are fantastic, and we're delighted to have them on board, and they're going to be a great backup, as well as the other shareholders that are coming on board.
Well, he's a popular horse. I mean, you know, it does seem as if he raced for a lot longer than just those 3 years, from 2 till 5.
You know, obviously a horse they raced on in Brisbane. You know, it was a bit unfortunate. They continuously ran into wet tracks, which didn't suit him. And you know, the stud barn was beckoning. So we're just thrilled to have him here now. The horse you're seeing today, we've only had him 2 weeks, and you can see already he's letting down to a beautiful stallion. He's got such a wonderful temperament, which is assisting him to do this. And you can imagine in 12 months' time, you know, what a stallion he'll look. At the moment, he's a racehorse about to be a stallion, and a beautiful horse, but he will make into a beautiful stallion.
He goes, all done. I sell him at 190,000. He goes.
Guy, you've been involved with Preferment for such a long time. Tell us the story behind how you managed to get such a great group of owners involved in him, because obviously, you know, Sons of Zabil are just gold as far as the yearling sales have been concerned.
Yes, we were really lucky that Chris Waller and I decided to that the English horses we buy weren't competitive, able to be competitive in derbies and oaks, and we came to New Zealand with a great group of owners, 9 in total, to buy a nice bunch of horses to be targeted at guineas and derbies and oaks. And in our first year we were lucky enough to get Preferment. We bought him well from Cambridge Studs Draft. We thought he was a gorgeous yearling, and he turned out to be exactly what we needed.
What do you see now? You see him as a stallion. What do you see in him? I mean, as a type, when you're buying them as a yearling, there's a specific sort of type that you look for, obviously, as far as the way the conformation is. But, you know, what do you see in him now, throwing that into the next generation?
Well, he's only been here at Brighthill Farm for a couple of weeks, but you can sort of see he's already started to really furnish and look like a stallion. You know, he's got great muscle and that sort of thing. He's got a great stride, and his attitude's really good. So, you know, he'll put that into his foals. And being from a really good selling family, you know, they don't sell well if they're not good types. So I think that's a really good positive for Preferment.
Great to see Preferment so well loved in his country of birth.